so excited to go to the gym. I need to move my body big time. We're already going. Moving, grooving. Here we go. It's happening. Okay, I'm pretty interested in a wreath. Go in there. Check it out. See what they got. Hello and welcome back to Vlogmas 2023 with Be Do Knit. I have quite a few things to share with you today, so I'm just going to jump right in. First and foremost, today is the first Sunday of Advent. So I don't have an Advent calendar holder that has the 4 candles, but I have some candle holders, so I just made my own. So I will light this last candle. Hopefully it doesn't catch anything on fire here. For the first day of Advent. So that's the first thing. And then I need to get my little bag for December 3rd. Okay. So December 3rd, this is A Homespun House Advent calendar. And it's a mini-skein fade. Yarn fade. So I will hold up the skeins of yarn that I got yesterday and the day before, and it is starting to get pinky. So yesterday was kind of a peachy color, which this is peach, but here is today's. Isn't that just delicious? And then here are all 3 of them together. So this new one is called, I've learned to put it far away from my eyes. This new one is called Candy Cane Lane. That's so cute. Did any of you play Candyland when you were a little kid? My sister and I were obsessed. So anyway, this is really, really cute. So I'm starting to think that maybe this is a fade that goes from a light peachy color to dark pink or even purple. So this is 3 of 24 mini skeins in a fade. I cannot wait to get this project started. And because it is the first Sunday of Advent, and typically, I know in Europe, Advent, it seems like Advent is a bigger deal than it is here in terms of, you know, a community kind of celebration. People gather and go to someone's house for dinner. They give gifts, like Advent gifts, go to the Christmas market, like in Germany. I spent, 2.5 years of my childhood growing up in Germany because I was an army brat. My dad was stationed there in a town called Pirmasens. And then we lived in a very small town outside of that, probably 45-minute drive from Pirmasens, in a small town called Dawn, Germany. And it was so idyllic because if you walked out of our house and just looked up at night, there was a castle lit up on a hill. It was pretty cool as a little kid. And then I remember we had neighbors that would ask to see our American newspapers, and we'd bring them over there and they would give us Rittersport and Toblerone and some other Gummy Bears German candy. Anyway, it was so great. So, yeah, that was really fun. And it was just great living in Germany as a little kid. So, because it's Advent, and if I was in Germany, I'd probably be getting a little Advent gift. I think that they do gifts at Advent. I'm going to open my, sorry for the crinkling ahead of time. I'm going to open my Advent calendar supplemental thing that I bought with my Advent kit, my mini skein kit. So I believe this is a project bag and I'm psyched. It is, it's a holiday themed project bag. So cute. So look at this. It's like little elves, a reindeer, birds, and little mistletoe and candles. So cute. And then you tighten it up like this so the moths don't get in. So progress update on my Christmas balls, because I cannot get started on my mini-skein project until I finish these 3 Christmas balls that are a gift for someone. So from my Arne and Carlos 55 Christmas balls to knit book, first I made this one, and I have not blocked it yet. I'm going to wait till they're all done and then block them. But first I made this one with the XOs, and I have not, I haven't blocked it, so I haven't stuffed it yet. But when I block it, I am going to steam it like Arne and Carlos do. So they put, they have like a little tiny table size ironing board that they put on their table, and then wet down a towel, and then take a hot iron and put the towel over the knit, and then iron over top. And that's how they block their projects, including sweaters, everything. They do not wet block. That's not a thing. And then if they want to wash a sweater, they just like hang it outside, because wool is self-cleaning. The properties in wool are, self-cleaning. And so say you were at a party and there was a bonfire or something, you can take that sweater, put it outside, and just having it in the air like that is going to clean it out and get rid of that smell. If it gets wet and it's wool, it's totally fine. Just dry it and it's fine. Anyway, so I can't remember in the book what that one was called, but it was in the section where there are a bunch of XO patterns. So anyway, it's called X's and O's version 2. So if you buy this Christmas book, that's what that is. The next one I am making is the bird on a branch. So I am on the very first, maybe I'm halfway through this ball actually. It goes pretty quick, but I am not a super fast knitter, as you can tell. So anyway, I wanted to talk about the elephant in the room. Maybe it is, and maybe it isn't to you, but to me it is. This is my Kumo sweater. I'm thrilled with this sweater. It might be the best fitting sweater I've ever made. This sweater is amazing. I love this sweater so much. And you know what? I thought these sleeves were gonna be like probably here. I like to have a little room, but I don't mind it going down all the way on my wrist either. I'm using this ruler. I thought it was going to be a little bit higher than that, and it might be because when I blocked it, I have this 4-tiered blocking system, and I had the sweater on the top. And then the second day of blocking, I took the sleeves and flopped them over the edge, and maybe they kind of grew with the weight of the water. It wasn't completely dry yet, and maybe it kind of grew because there is alpaca in this. So I will start with the pattern and the designer. So the designer is Julia Wilkens, and the sweater and she's from Amsterdam. I think she might be German, but living in Amsterdam. I could be wrong. At one point, she worked at Stephen West and his friend's store, Penelope and Stephen in Amsterdam. Is that what it's called? Penelope and Stephen? I don't even know. I think so. I don't know. But anyway, it's called the Kumo Sweater. And her version is like a bright yellow and gray. And that's also very pretty. I would love that. This is not a color combination I would normally pick for myself, but I absolutely love it. It's so bright. It's just, I'm looking outside and it is dreary in Minnesota. I live in St. Paul, Minnesota, and there is no sun to be seen in the sky today. So, yeah, the Kumo sweater, the shape, everything, I just love it so much. So even in her project notes, she talks about using Cocoknits methodology for shoulder shaping, which is to start the project. Sorry, I'm gonna move this. To start the project on the back, and then you work your way up to the shoulder, and you do some short row shaping up here, and then you go down the front, and then you join under the armpit and keep going down, and then you pick up and do each sleeve. And there's a very specific technique from Cocoknits for doing that. And so that is what she did, and it is fantastic. You know, probably some people don't mind having a snugger arm. You can see I have some ease down here. I like having ease on my arms. When I was growing up, I did not, this is the craziest thing. I am a knitter. I love to knit. I love to knit garments and sweaters, especially. And when I was growing up, I hated wearing sweaters. Hated it because I run super hot. Is anybody else out there that runs really hot, but you love to knit? And you previously didn't like to wear sweaters because it made you hot? And so anyway, so this kind of craze that's going on right now with holding mohair and, you know, a wool together, it makes a sweater so hot. And this is really warm too, honestly. But I think my solve is going to be turning the heat down in the house. And my husband, Matt, is just going to have to, I think he's just going to have to like bundle up. Maybe I'll make him a fisherman's sweater. That is a goal of mine. Or a Gansey, or I don't know, like a big cable knit sweater or something. Something that's not too heavy, like a lightweight wool. Because he runs hot too. I don't know, we're just hot around here. Anyway, this pattern was very easy to use. It was great. This yarn, I can't believe I've gone this far without talking about the yarn. And the yarn that's used in this sweater is Kumo and Felix by Bien Aimee. Kumo is 74% Surrey alpaca, 26% mulberry silk. And then Felix is 75% Falkland merino and 25% Corriedale. So those are the two yarns I used, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm in love with this combination. It is so soft. It is the softest sweater I've ever owned. It's so, oh my gosh, it's like lightweight and soft and warm. It is incredible. So I don't think this is the last time that I will be knitting with Kumo and Felix. It's a love affair that will continue. I can guarantee you that. So anyway, I'm gonna say my favorite tool, and then I'm gonna move along because this video is getting long. My favorite tool of the day in conjunction with this sweater is here's my pattern I'm sitting here holding, is this little item right here. This is something that you can put on your side table. I sit in the den when I am working on watching podcasts and working on a project. And so you put your pattern up there, and you can either use these magnets that come with it, or a magnetic ruler so that you can follow along on the pattern. And you just move it up and down to keep track of where you are. And it is great. It's great for color work, especially when I made this, the Lovage sweater by Marie Wallen. This thing was essential, basically. And Cocoknits has so many good tools. They're just so well thought out. Like, look on this ruler. It also doubles as a needle gauge. So you can, figure out what size needles if you've rubbed off the US 7 or whatever on your needles, you can use this to figure it out. So that is fantastic. I love, 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 love. Even when I go on vacation, that thing is in my bag, so I can look at my patterns that way. I know some people are digital and look online, and I might get there eventually, but for now, I'm still printing and putting it on this stand just because it's working so well and I love it. And then also, this is also an essential thing from Cocoknits that I bought. I think maybe I got this at Stephen B in Minneapolis. I'm trying to think if I got it at Dappled Fern in Grand Marais, but I think I bought this. I think I maybe saw it at Dappled Fern in Grand Marais, but I bought it at Stephen B in Minneapolis. So this is a flight of stitch markers, and they're all metal. And all these are actual sizes. Sorry, I didn't mean to flip you off. These are actual sizes of the stitch markers. So the one that's missing is, and I don't know where that case went. I think my dog ate it, literally. Those are full of, that one was full of these little metal stitch markers. These were really good to use on my lovage sweater, so I barely have any left. I don't know where the rest of them are. There's some scattered in here with my other tools. But anyway, I'll show you one of these. So this is the large ring for chunky knit projects. And I have a few chunky knit designs because that's where I started. But yeah, here they are. They're just really great. I love these stitch markers. I love that they're metal. The rubber ones sometimes get stuck, like, you know, you're knitting along. These are so smooth. They just slide from one to the other. I mean, Cocoknits, her products, they're just so, you can tell that a knitter designed them because a knitter knows, right? So anyway, that is all I have today. I hope you're all enjoying your Advent season. I don't know. I'm curious if I'll have time during the work week because I have a pretty intense job. I wonder if I'll have time to do a Vlogmas video, but if I don't, I will definitely see you next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And maybe I'll just whip out a very quick video in the morning or over my lunch hour during the work week. We'll see what I can do. All right, and you might see the sweater again because you know I'm wearing it next week. All right, have a great first Sunday of Advent, and I hope that you're all enjoying some knitting, and I will see you next time. Bye.